This project is focused on changes to the Land Use Code and neighborhood plans in residential multi-zones that will allow all residential multi-zones, or RM zones, to achieve the densities and types of homes intended for these areas, while also increasing opportunities for additional homes. More detailed analysis is needed to identify the steps required to fulfill the project purpose. However, the following 4 components have been identified to date. A simplified range zoning system in residential multi-zones, a density bonus system in residential multi-zones, allowing all forms of infill housing toolkit in residential multi-zones, and potentially including minimum densities in certain or all RM zones. Let's explore those in a little more detail. Range zoning refers to the density or the number of units per acre allowed in multifamily zones. The more units per acre, the higher the density. The fewer units per acre, the lower the density. The Bellingham Municipal Code includes 94 residential multi-zones, each with their own unique densities that align with the low, medium, or high density ranges in the Bellingham Comprehensive Plan. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see Policy LU-3 from the City of Bellingham Comprehensive Plan that outlines the permitted densities. On the right-hand side of the page is an example from one of the 94 residential multi-sub-areas and the current allowed density of 4,000 square feet per unit. Staff is evaluating whether to allow development at any density within each RM zone's comparable comprehensive plan range of low, medium, or high. Current densities in the Land Use Code will be replaced with their designated comprehensive plan range. In this example, the subarea's current density of 4,000 square feet per unit falls within the medium range. Under the proposal, development in this subarea could occur at a density between 3,600 square feet per unit and 7,200 square feet per unit. This slide includes current examples of medium and high density development in residential multi-zones. Existing residential multi and infill housing toolkit standards, such as those related to design, parking, open space, and height, will continue to apply to projects in these zones. The second item in the project scope is density bonus. Density bonus systems are used as a tool for establishing conditions to achieve additional density beyond what is allowed outright. Bellingham Comprehensive Plan Policy LU-3 describes areas appropriate for higher density as those near existing or potential high-frequency transit service and/or adjacent to or near employment and commercial areas. Staff has identified areas that are designated as low or medium density and is evaluating if these properties should be eligible for a density bonus based on location-efficient criteria. Properties that are within a quarter mile of a bus stop on a high-frequency Whatcom Transportation Authority route and meet at least one additional criteria may be eligible for a density bonus. Additional criteria could include a half-mile walk distance to parks, within designated walk routes to elementary schools, or within a half-mile walk to full-service grocery stores. The third item in the project scope pertains to the infill housing toolkit. All infill toolkit forms are currently allowed in multifamily zones, except that in multifamily zones with the duplex use qualifier, only small houses, smaller houses, cottages, and duplexes are allowed. The areas with a duplex use qualifier are designated in teal on this map. Staff is evaluating whether all infill toolkit forms should be allowed in all RM zones. The infill housing toolkit represents 7 traditional housing forms that use a limited amount of residential space. In general, these forms include small homes that provide low-impact housing options. Each toolkit housing type includes design standards that are intended to help them architecturally blend into existing neighborhoods through careful attention to building design, parking, and landscaping. Their flexible design and smaller size makes them suitable for a variety of households, from graduates to aging parents. The fourth item in the project scope is minimum densities. The residential multi-zoning designation is intended to primarily accommodate higher concentrations of people within the city. While the zoning table designates the maximum density, it does not currently include a minimum density or a floor. This means that development can occur at intensities much lower than the intent of the zone. Our current regulations may result in residential multi-zones that don't include multifamily and small-scale housing forms as intended. Staff is evaluating options, including whether to require development to meet at least the lowest density within each RM zone's comparable comprehensive plan range of low, medium, or high. Thanks for your time, and be sure to register at our engagement site, www.engagebellingham.org, to provide feedback on this and other city projects.